Okay, welcome to the Thursday evening Freestyle Fitness yoga class. Make sure that you are physically able to do the class. So if you it's not a class for people with blood pressure problems or slip disc joint problems. And if at any time you feel ill or sick or really hot really quickly, then stop. Also make sure that you've got enough room around you so that you don't hit or kick anything over. And you may need a block, a band or a pillow, something for your hands, something for your legs. You may not. It just depends, but always have them round so that you know. We're going to start ourselves in cross legs, and we're just going to do a bit of breathing just to bring ourselves to the mat. So we're taking our arms out, we're breathing in and lifting our arms up. And as we breathe out, we're taking the hands down. Trying to pull the stomach in, breathing in, lifting. Trying to stretch the rib cage, lifting the head up, stretching up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, pulling the stomach in, pushing the diaphragm up. Breathing in all the good things we have, a home, food to eat, clothes to wear. And breathing out all the worries, all the stresses that our brain throws us at every day. Breathing in all the love that we have from friends and family. And breathing all the troubles of the world out, the news, the media, the internet. And let's do 3 more. And our last one. Bringing it back down. Bring our breathing back to normal. So if we want, we can rechange that leg. So change this different direction. Let our hands drop down. We're going to tuck our chin down and we're rolling our neck to one side. And then we're rolling it all the way around to the other side. But we're not going round in a circle. We're just dropping it down and letting it go around to the side. Feeling the stretches through the back, through the neck, through the shoulders, underneath the shoulder blades. And then with our last one, we're bringing it round. And then we're going to bring it back to the centre. And lift it up from the centre. So we're going to do a similar thing with going backwards. Now, if you need to, you can always support your hand on your head. We're not taking our head all the way back. We're just sort of lifting it up so there's no strain here, no strain here. And again, we're just doing that rolling backwards. So we're lifting it up and we're reaching it across to the ear and to the other side. As if we're looking at something just up above in the sky. Again, feeling the stretch as it goes round. It's moving around the jaw into the ear. All the way into the head. Can you feel it down the arms into the fingers as well? across to this side. We're going to bring it back to our centre and bring the head back down. Lovely. Change feet. So we're going forward. We're going to pull our stomach in as we breathe out, and we're going to lift up and reach forward. So breathing in, breathe out, reach the hands forward. Let the head drop down. Let the hips open. Let the body drop forward. Breathe in from the base of the spine all the way up the back. As you're breathing in, it feels as if the head's being pushed down. As you're breathing out, it feels as if the bottom's being pushed down. We're going to breathe in, lifting them arms up, taking them round to the back. Breathing in, lift the chest forward, lift the head up. 3 breaths again, stretching from the bottom of the hips, reaching up. Push the knees down towards the floor. And then we're going to bring it back up. We're lifting the arm up as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're reaching over. If the elbow wants to go down, we let it go down. But we're turning and looking up towards the ceiling. Breathing in from the bottom of the ribs all the way up, feeling it pushing us down. As we breathe out, we're letting that lower part of the body relax. Then we're going to breathe in and lift. Lifting the other arm. And breathe out, taking it over the other side. Trying to make sure that that arm doesn't come in front of the face, that we're taking it behind. If we want to look up, we look up, pushing the knees towards the floor. Again, we're breathing in and lifting it up. We're going to turn to the side. So we're bringing the arm around onto the opposite knee, round onto the floor, or if we can grab hold of our thigh, we bring it round to the thigh, but we don't worry. We breathe in, stretch up, and as we breathe out, we pull the leg, look over the shoulder. Think about breathing diagonally. And we're going to breathe in, lifting up. And we're breathing out, taking it around the other side. Using the hands on the leg to push the body round as we breathe out. Breathing in, stretching up through the spine. Breathing out, twisting. And then breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, bringing the arms down. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to change our leg position. So change the legs. So again, we're breathing in, lifting up. And breathing out, reaching forward. Stretch the arms out, let the head drop down. Feel where the breath is coming in, where it wants to leave from. And then breathing in, lifting. Bring the arms back, push the chest forward. And breathe in, lifting the arms up. Breathe out, reach over. And breathing in, lift. Breathe out, reach to the other side. Good. Lovely. Let's breathe in, lift. And breathe out, take it into a twist. And breathing in, let's go to the other side. And breathing in, lift the arms up. And breathe out, bring them back down. Lovely. So that front leg, spin it round. Bring yourself onto your hands and knees. So cat and cow and then extension. So from here, pushing down with the fingertips, making sure the knees are in line with the hips. Pull that stomach muscle in. Pull the shoulders back and down. We're breathing out. We're curling up into our cat shape. Pushing from our fingertips. You'll feel the weight lift from the knees and the hands. Then as you breathe in, the pelvis goes in the opposite direction. The shoulders pull back. We lift the head up, pushing the chest down. You should feel the push into the hands and into the knees. Let's breathe out, taking it in the opposite direction. And breathe in, dropping down. Breathe out, back into cow. And breathe in. Back to cow. From here, we're bending the elbows as we breathe out, bringing our chin towards the floor. It doesn't have to go down. Breathe in, coming all the way back up, back to our tabletop. Go into cat, but then start to lift the knee and bring the head and knee together as you're breathing out. And then into cow. Breathe in, lift that leg up. We're breathing out, we're going straight back into cat. We're breathing in. We're coming up to cow. We're breathing out, we're bending the elbows. And we're breathing in, we're pushing back up. Breathe out as we come to cat and lift the leg. Breathe in, push back, lift the leg up. Let's do one more on each side. So breathing out. And breathing in. Breathe out. Lovely. Breathe in. This is working them arms. Breathe out. Breathe in. Last one. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And from here, we're going to bring it down and push into child. Turn them palms over, let the head relax down. Let's bring ourselves back up. And we're going to go into shoulder sweeps. So we're taking the hand out away from the body. We're breathing out, coming back down to child, reaching the hand back, breathing in, lifting up. 3 more on this side, breathing out. Breathing in as we're lifting the arm up and over. Working that shoulder. This is the 3rd one. We're also starting to open up the intercostal ribs. And our last one on this side. And we're bringing it back underneath. So again, thinking, how do the shoulders feel? How does that side, the ribs on this side, the waist on this side feel? Does it feel a little different? Does it feel the same? So it's just about thinking about how we're feeling. Let's change hands. Reach that other hand out. Breathe out, take it down. Breathe in, lifting, reaching it over. Breathing out. Feeling the stretch through that lower back. And the 3rd one. And our last one. And bring it underneath. Lovely. So we're going to take it into a pigeon prep with our feet. We're taking our foot back. I'm going to move up slightly for Insta. We're taking our foot back from here. We're going to push the heel away. Then we're going to bring the knee in, the foot in, bring it around the side of the knee and sit back into child, letting the head drop down. So we're bringing it out. We're pushing the heel away to stretch that calf. We're bringing it in, around the knee if we can, sitting back into more cow phase than anything else. Let's do 2 more on this side. Take it out, pushing it away. Bringing it in, sitting back. We're breathing in. We're breathing out. Let's bring it back round. I think that was 4. I counted again, rubbish. So let's do the other side. So again, under tiptoe, but push the heel away. You're breathing in at this point. You'll feel the back of the knee stretch. We're breathing out as we reach back. Breathing in. Breathing out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Last one. And bring it back around. So from here, tuck your toes, lift yourself up onto your feet, push back, then jump or step the feet in, bring yourself back up. Lovely. So we're going to go into sun salutation, but we're going to take our 5 breaths just to kind of bring ourselves here, to remember why we're here. Legs can be apart, in line with the hips, or they can be right next to each other. It's up to you. We're tightening up our legs. We're engaging our thighs, or bringing them together, engaging our back thighs, squeezing our bum, the outside thigh. Think about pulling the pelvic floor in, the shoulders back and down, the chin tucked back. Bring the hands together in prayer. Push the fingers, push the palms of the hand, the knuckles of the hand and the bottom of the hand. but you should have a hole in between the palms and the fingers, so they're making bridges. The hands aren't touching the heart, they're slightly away. Close your eyes if you can. We're going to breathe in, lifting up and reaching back. As we breathe out, we're bringing our hands down towards our feet, letting our head drop into a forward bend. Remember, you can always bend the knees if you need to. Breathing in, we're looking and reaching forward. The head pulls forward, the shoulders pull back, the back straight into a half bend. From here, we're going down and we're going to bend the knees and we're going to jump back and push back to down dog. We're coming up onto our tiptoes and then we're rolling forward into plank. We're dropping the chest, we're lifting up into up facing dog, lifting them knees if we can, shoulders back. Step back to down dog. Bend the knees, look forward, and then we're jumping the feet in, going back into our forward bend. Bending the knees, lifting up. One more, breathing out. Breathing in. Good. Breathe out. Lovely. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Lovely. Bring the arms down. Good. So, we're going to take it into down dog, but we're going to move in and out of that so that we're working the backs of our legs. So we bring ourselves down to the floor and then we can step back from here. So you're stepping your foot back into down dog. Now the heels, if they're not on the floor, what we're going to do is bend one knee and push one knee down. So we're just walking the legs and then we're pushing one heel down at a time. We'll step in and step in. And we're just stretching one side at a time. Now we're going to hold one knee bent and we're going to push our chest and our belly into that knee that's bent, but we're pushing the heel of the other foot down. You'll really feel that stretch into your calf. And then we're going to change sides. So we're pushing the other foot towards the floor. We're pushing our chest towards that knee that's bent. So we're going to bring ourselves back and we're going to lift our right leg up in the air. And we're pulling it in towards the chest and we're stepping it between our hands. That's it. So now this back leg will be up. We're going to try and push the back heel down. And if you might need a block at this time, you're going to try and lift your front foot up. But move over this way a bit. So from there, the foot might be up and the knee might be bent. If you've got a block, grab your block so that you can place your hands on the block. You're then going to straighten that bent leg and you may find that you can push down to the back foot and then you're going to lift the front foot up, the front toe up. You're then going to bring the front toe down and come up onto your tiptoes at the back. So we're going to do that one more time. You're going to push the heel at the back down and lift the toes up at the front. And then we're going to push down with that front foot and come up onto the tiptoes at the back. And then we're stepping back to down dog. So again, we're going to lift the opposite leg up. We're pulling it in towards the chest, looking forward, and stepping it between the hands. Again, if we need them blocks, we grab the blocks. Now the back toes up again. We're going to put the heel down, straighten the front leg, lift the toes off the floor. Push the toes down, lift onto the back toes at the back. Let's try one more. Push down and lift up. Feel that stretch right through the back. So we're pushing it down and the back toe comes up onto its tiptoe and we step back. We're going to take ourselves down onto our knees and sit back to child. Turn your palms over. We are going to do this one more time now that we know what we're doing. And I can move a little bit further away from the door. Now you can see my foot. So, now you can see my feet, what they were doing. I can move back onto here. The same thing, so tucking our toes. We're lifting up into down dog. And we're going to walk the legs one at a time. Pushing down, pushing down. So working them hips, you'll feel it round the waist at the same time as that you're pushing down. So now we're going to keep the one leg bent, push the heel of the other one down, push our belly and our chest towards that bent knee. Holding it for about 5 breaths. And then we're going to change legs. So pushing the other one down, push the leg in toward, or the body in towards the side. We're bringing them both legs down. We're going to lift the left leg up in the air as high as we can. And then we're pulling it into the chest and stepping it between the legs. Drop that back foot down, straighten that front leg, lift it up. Push the chest down, push the hips back so that you feel it pulling through the back of the leg. We're going to drop the foot and come up onto the tiptoe. And again, we're pushing the hip backwards. We don't want to pull it round. We want to push that front hip back so that you feel the stretch through the back of the leg. We're going to drop down one more time and lift that toe up. And drop the foot, lift the back toes onto your tiptoe. Feel that stretch through that front leg. Step back to down dog. Lift the right foot up in the air. Pull the knee in, step it forward. Drop the back foot down, lift that front leg up. Drop the foot down, come up onto the tiptoe, but push the hip back. Feel it through the front of that through the back of that front leg. Drop the back foot down, lift that front leg up. And then we're pushing it down, we're coming up onto that tiptoe at the back. And we're stepping back, push back to down dog. And bend the knees, come down to child. I'm on the right one. So, I'm going to get you to lie onto your back. I'm going to move back a little bit. It's more about my feet rather than anything else anyway. Now well, we'll do this one first, then I'll see if you need the band. So have your band close if you want it. You may not need it. So you're going to lie yourself down on your back and you're bringing your feet in the air. Now, if you've got a wall, you can always put your legs against the wall, but if you can, you're just going to keep it out from the wall for here. Now, you're going, from with your legs up in the air, you're going to point and flex your toes. So you're pointing and you're flexing. And this is starting to work all the ligaments in the knees and the hips. You'll feel it through the ankles and the calves. But because we're upside down, it's a lot nicer. You're trying to point the toes and then pull them all the way back to you. Now you're going to imagine that you're on your tiptoes and you're pushing your toes up towards the floor, ceiling, which sounds really weird, but as soon as you do it, you'll feel it's like, oh, that's really lovely. But you're trying to do tiptoes with your feet and then bring your feet down, relax them. Yeah, you can take them down, bring them down if you want, let them relax. We're going to take it back up again. So give yourself just a time to chill to bring the feet down. So we're bringing them back up. And this time you're going to bring your toes and let your toes, your big toes touch. So your heels are sticking out to the side. I'll do it backwards. Toes are touching. And then you're bringing your heels to touch. Then your toes to touch. Then your heels to touch. That's it. And again, you'll feel this right into your hips, through the knees, through the ankles, and it's just starting to work them and just give them a little bit of a relaxation, just pulling them out. But no pressures on them, they're all upside down, so gravity is working in the opposite direction. I don't know what that is. And again, we're going to bring the legs down. Give them a little rest. Now with this one, you may want your band, but you don't need it. So if you want, you can put the band around the bottom of the foot. The other leg can stay bent or it can stay straight. It's up to you, whatever feels more comfortable. You're keeping the shoulders on the floor. You can straighten the leg and pull it in. If you haven't got a band, you can keep the leg straight, bring the hand to the bottom of the calf as long as the shoulders stay down. You don't want to reach up, otherwise you'll just lift the shoulders off the floor. You don't want that. You want the shoulders to be down. So it's wherever you want to be. I'm going to stay with no band. I'll just hold on to the back of my leg, flexing my foot, and I'm pulling back with my hand. I'm not doing it by the knee, otherwise the knee will just bend. I'm trying to pull my toes back and pull that leg down. And then we're changing sides. I've only forgot the flow in between. Duh. Pulling it down. I was thinking, it's going really quick. I'll get us up and do the flow in a minute. So we changed legs, sorry, I should have said. And then we're going to bring it down and we're going to change one more time. So again, with the band around your ankle, around your foot, and you're just pulling. And then we're going to change sides. Now, like I said, you don't have to use the band. Just I'm showing you different options, but the shoulders are staying down. They're not lifting up. We're keeping the back nice and straight. You're just pulling that leg in. And like I said, if you wanted, you could take that leg out. And then we're bringing the two legs in towards us. And we're giving ourselves a little cuddle. And bring ourselves over onto our side. And then bring ourselves up to seated. And I'm going to get you up to standing. Like I said, I've completely forgot to do our flow. What am I like? So I'll put it in now. Makes no difference where it goes before we do our work our legs. So we're going to still slow it down, but we're not slowing down too much. I hope you should be able to see with it. So if we bring ourselves to the front of our mat, we're bringing our hands into prayer and we're sitting down into our imaginary chair. We're going to bring our left elbow towards our right knee into twisted chair. We're using the hands to push down to look up. Now you can take that top hand behind your back. You can bring the other hand to the floor or onto the block. So your left hand goes to the floor. You're going to step back with your left foot and drop down into a twisted triangle. A twisted bent leg triangle. So from here, that back leg is going to go flat down onto the floor and we're straightening that front leg, but we're still twisting and lifting that arm back into a twisted triangle. We're bringing the top arm down and we're letting our head drop so that we're coming down into inverted V. Remember, you can have the blocks on the floor if you need to. Pull that stomach in. Let the body nestle down into the leg. We're keeping our hands on the floor. We're bending that front leg and we're seeing if we can lift that back leg up in the air into a standing splits. Doesn't matter if it doesn't go very high. We're bringing the foot back down. Now the foot that's between our hand, that's the one that's going to go up and back. So we're taking it back, we're stepping over and we're rolling out into side plank. Lovely. Roll it back over, push back to down dog. Come forward, drop the hips, roll the shoulders back to cobra, back to down dog, jump back in, lift the body back up. Let's go to the other side. So bending the hips back, bringing the hands back down into chair pose. The right arm goes to the left leg. We're looking up. We're taking the top hand, bringing it behind the back, the bottom one to the floor. We're stepping back with our right foot. And we're dropping our hips. We're still pulling that elbow back. We're looking up. We're going to drop the back foot and straighten the front leg, still twisting backwards. Dropping the arm down, letting the head drop in towards the leg. Squeeze the stomach muscles in. Let the head drop down. We're bringing the weight forward, lifting that back leg off. Then stepping the leg down, bringing the leg that's set between the hands over, rolling out. Bringing it back to down dog. Coming forward and dropping the hips into cobra. Pushing back to down dog. Jumping in and lifting up. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more without me talking. Well, I'll still talk, you know me, I always do. But we're just going to move through it as best we can. And we're going to move with our breath if we can as well. So, bringing ourselves to the front. Bring the hands to prayer. Sit back into chair. The left hand comes round to the right knee. We'll open the arms out. They can be up. They can be down on the back. We're stepping back with that left leg. Letting ourselves drop down. Straightening the back leg. Straightening that front leg. Dropping down but twisting. We're letting the arms drop into an inverted V shape. We're stepping forward and lifting into standing splits. We're taking the foot down, stepping the other foot over and lifting out. We're rolling back to down dog. Coming over to cobra. Back to down dog. Jump back into a stand. Lift up. Reach back. Let's go the other side. Taking it down. Turning to the side. Opening out. Step back with that right leg. Drop down. Straighten the legs. Bring ourselves into triangle. Taking the arm down into an inverted V. Stepping up into splits. Let me forget what I was doing. Step back, step the foot over, open out. Bring it back, push to down dog, drop to up dog, push back to down dog, jumping, lift up. Last one, here we go. Our last one now. And then from here, we're pushing back to child. Relax. And then roll up. Lovely. So we're going to take it into, getting ready to go into monkey. Again, have your block or have a cushion, anything ready just in case you need it. So we're starting off on our hands and knees. I'm moving over here a bit. And you're going to bring your 1 foot forward. From there, you're bringing your toes to point up and you're placing your hands down on the floor. So if it doesn't go, you can have your block underneath so that your hands are on the block, or you can have the block on the floor underneath your leg, wherever feels more comfortable for you. From here, you're bringing that front foot flat, bending the knee, and then you're pushing into this hip at the back. So going forwards and backwards. You're coming forwards, pulling that toe. You can let your head drop down. And then you're pushing forward, dropping your hip forward. Pulling back. So make sure that toe's coming back as much as you can. You'll feel it right at the back of the knee. And then pushing, dropping the hips. So you're doing a half split. You'll feel it at the back of the thigh as well. So let's do 2 more. Pushing back. And bringing it forward. And our last one. Pushing back. Bringing it forward. And then bring it back. Let's change legs. So bringing the foot up. Making sure the toes are pointing upwards to start off. That your hands feel okay on the floor wherever they are. Drop the foot down, bend that knee, push down. Now this back leg, it should be flat down, so if you was to pick up that knee, it would come up nicely. It shouldn't be over to the side so that it goes out to the side. It should come up towards your bum. And then we're pushing back. So again, letting the head drop down, feeling that stretch through that lower back and the back of the knee. Drop the foot, push that hip. Work that psoas muscle, our sitting down muscle. Push back. And push forward. Let's do 2 more. And we'll work with that breath. Breathe out. Breathe in. And bring it back. So now we're going to take it into to monkey. Now with this, you're going to move your foot. If at any time it feels it's too much, then stop. So with this, we're bringing ourselves back to that point. I'm going to just change this top camera so that it's probably easier for you to get me down on the floor. That's like it's better. That's it. That's better. So from here, we're bringing the foot out so that it's coming back up into this position. We're placing the hands down and we're turning the foot. So the same thing we were doing when we were upside down. We're wiggling the foot, but at the same time, we're pushing it forward till we get to a point where our body goes, no, can't go any further. Then this back leg, as long as it's in that position, you can push down to the back of the leg and the knee will lift up, and then you may be able to slide that a bit more. You might not. And if you aren't, don't worry about it. But this toe's still pulling back. So we're holding it here. You can always get a block and put a block just under the knee, just under the leg to hold you up. Or you can have it underneath that area there so that it holds you in that position so that you can lift yourself up and pull your shoulders backwards. Make sure that you've got your hands on the floor, that you've got your hands on something, so that your back of your knee is always protected. If you've got yourself on a block, then you're not going to go any further, so you can then let go. But I wouldn't let go if you haven't got any protection. So if you haven't got anything, you're just holding it here, and what you're going to do is try and breathe out and bring your head or your chin past your knee. As soon as you do that, you'll feel it right into the back of the leg. But as long as your hands are down, that back of that knee has got protection. Now we're going to have to pull it in. So you can either pull it back, but sometimes the brain forgets. If it does, the leg that's out, just roll onto that side and then bring the leg in. Sometimes it's easier to do that. Like I said, sometimes the brain will just forget. So let's do the other side. So we're bringing the foot out and we're lifting it up. We're wiggling it side to side, giving ourselves a wave and seeing if we can move it forward a little bit. When we get to a point of no return, that back foot, lift it and see if we can slide it a little bit more. Now again, like I said, you can put the brick underneath the lowest part of your leg, or you can stick it right underneath there, wherever feels more comfortable. You can make it as big as you want. If you can't go down very far, if you've got a block, you can then let go and lean backwards. If you haven't got a block, your hands are down, lift the chin, reach the chin forward. And again, we're going to either pull the leg back or roll onto that leg and bring the legs in. Whichever feels easier for you. We're going to do it one more time because the second time the body likes it. Well, sort of. So let's bring ourselves back up. Take that leg out. Hands down, give it a wiggle. Move it forward. Then move that back leg backwards. Keep pulling the toe back. So from here, let the head drop forward. And bring the elbows down if they want to go down. And then we're bringing our hands back up. We're bringing that leg back in. And we're changing sides. Last one. So the foot comes up. We're wiggling it forward. Then we're taking that back leg back. We're making sure we feel okay. Then we're bending the head forward. And then lifting up, bringing the legs back in. Sit yourself back into hero. This is the only time hero actually feels quite nice, when we sit in this position, when we work the back of the knees. So we're going to lie ourselves down and just do another stretch for our legs. So if we lie ourselves on our back, we're going to do a cow face or a shoestring while we're down. So we're going to bring our legs and cross them over, and then you're going to grab your ankles and pull them towards the floor. You're kind of pulling them as if you're knotting them, pulling them over each side of your leg. You'll feel the stretch through the back of the knees and into them hips. We're going to bring the legs up and we're going to cross them the other direction. So one goes over the top. We're grabbing hold of the ankles and we're knotting our legs up. Or we're trying to pull each heel down towards our bum. And let's do one more on each side. So crossing them over, grabbing hold of the heels, giving them a pull. And our last one. And then we're bringing our legs in and just rocking side to side. And then if we grab the knees, you're going to take the legs out and you're going to make a circle with each leg. Again, we're just working them hips, taking them out and bringing them around as if we're doing breaststroke legs. And we're bringing ourselves up onto our bottom and into cross legs. So we're bringing ourselves into our breathing. We're going to bring our fingers into chin mudra. So the thumb and the middle finger together, the index finger together. The other hand's pushing straight out, pointing down. The shoulders rolling back and down. We're going to breathe just into our abdominals. So it's just as you breathe out, it comes in. As you breathe in, it comes out. There's no movement in the upper part of the lungs. And if a thought comes into our head, I want you just to think thought and stop. I'm going to count the first one, then we're going to do 4 more rounds of 10. So we're going up to 10, we start again. And then we'll finish from there. If I lose Instagram, I'll see you later, but just try and make sure you do your cleansing breaths when you finish. So here we go. We're breathing out first. We're breathing in, 1. We're breathing out, 2. In, 3. Out, 4. In, 5. Out, 6. In, 7. Out, 8. In, 9. Out, 10. Let's start again. Trying to make them as big as you can, so you want to go all the way around the body, around the lower part of the lungs, so into the sides and into the back, but not into the chest. Any thoughts come into your head, start back at 1.